Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, family, to Tea Time Podcast by Atiya J. This is your self-help, spiritual podcast, uplifting topics we all love to avoid, but we definitely need to conquer. Tea time is your moment to pause, listen, and absorb what is soothing to you. I'm Atiya J, aka Tia, a certified holistic life coach, and this idea was sparked by my passion to help others discover their latent potential, purpose, and significance, especially if you are one who feels overlooked, alone, or forgotten. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. I see you and I feel you. Welcome to Tea Time Podcast. Enjoy the tea. Peace, assalamu alaikum. It's your girl Tia, Atiya J, here again for a bonus episode of the podcast. I was able to get away this weekend. I am on a solo trip in Maryland. Yes, I came out, I found a nice Airbnb in Clarksville, Maryland, and I am just getting away. I used to love doing solo trips. I was getting on a grind of solo tripping. The last place I went right before COVID hit was Costa Rica. So I have not been able to do that, of course, lately because I have an entire family and people who depend on me. I'm also a caretaker for my grandma. So this is a rarity for me to be able to get out. And I have to say, just on the first day of doing this is a very, very relaxing retreat and little getaway for myself. I'm out here in, I forget what it's called. I'll find it, but I'm out here in the park. It's a national park in Columbia, Maryland, and it's beautiful. I saw a fox, a dog, somebody owned it, but it was off the leash, just walked up to me. So I'm very immersed in nature. This is a nature preserve. I'm having a good time. So I was looking for an area like this. If you can see, it's very green. Try to get out the way. There is a stream that I'm sitting next to. You can hear it. And it's just very peaceful and relaxing over here. And I wanted to find an area like this and perhaps make a podcast. So let's do it real quick. I want to talk about the question that we often are asked, but I'm not sure if we ever really answer. And that question is, who am I? And this idea was sparked by working with my mom, actually. I'm working with her on coaching a group of people. And in the slide presentation that I did for that group, I put a slide that said, who am I? And in there I put, I'm an educator, I'm a life coach, I'm a photographer, I'm a mom, wife. And my mom made a comment when she was looking at the slides. She said, that's really what you are, not who you are, but that's okay. And I apologize for my voice shaking and a stuffy nose. It is cold out here. More cold than I expected, but we're good. But when she said that's more what you are than who you are, that made me question myself. Do I actually know who I am? And I thought I did, but I haven't asked myself that question in a long time. And typically when I answer it now, it has to do with the type of work that I do or the responsibilities I have. And I think I've heard lots of women kind of reflect on this point, that they become their responsibilities and they kind of lose a sense of who they are. So a reason why I took this trip, I thought I just needed to get away. But I'm realizing now is I need to reconnect with who I am. Because I haven't been giving grace to her. I haven't been giving grace to Atiya or Titi or Tia. I've been taking responsibility for a lot of things, but I haven't had time to sit with who I actually really am. I haven't had time to sit and reevaluate who I am in the new roles that I take on and how it fits. So thinking about who I am, I journaled about it for a bit, and I asked myself the question, and I said, you know what? I can't really figure that out without going to my childhood. And I thought about just a few things I'll share. I'll share 3 things. Number 1, I am a self-determined person. I am extremely self-determined. I will always find a way to make something happen. Hence the solo trip. Since I was a child, I'll give an example. I was a LimeWire person. I'm a music head. I've always loved music, and we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I wasn't gonna get a whole bunch of CDs that my mom could buy me. But I found a way. I downloaded LimeWire. That was a mistake. I figured that out. I didn't realize it back then, but I crashed my mom's computer. But even after I crashed the computer, I found new ways to get the music that I wanted. So since I couldn't do it from LimeWire, I learned this thing called burning CDs. So I began to burn CDs, and the way I would do that is to go to the library, rent one out, burn it, return it. And this was my free way of being able to get a whole bunch of music almost unlimited. They used to get albums pretty soon after they came out. So I was always self-determined, and that went throughout. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I did that. I've always wanted to travel. I did that. So when I think of who I am, I think first and foremost, I'm a self-determined person. And a lot of people have told me that I'm stubborn because of that. And I just read the 4 Agreements last night. I read the entire book in one night, about a couple hours it took me. But a lot of people tell me that I'm stubborn, and I am disagreeing with that now. I'm no longer going to have that agreement that I'm stubborn because of my self-determination. You may see it as stubborn, but that's okay for you to do that. But I'm not stubborn. I'm self-determined, and that fits and describes me more. So I'm accepting that. I think something else I've realized going back to my childhood is that I am very optimistic and faithful. So optimistic, something always sticks out to me. It is getting really cold sitting here. Move around. Sorry. Something that sticks out to me is when, I believe it was the 3rd grade, I won a bike in a raffle, and the number that they drew was 3. So 3 from then on became my favorite number. And we had, I have 2 sisters, so it was the 3 of us siblings. So 3 was a number that showed up a lot during that period of time. I was in 3rd grade, I believe, and I got that 3 number drawn and won a bike. So that helped my optimism. That helped my faith. Because all the chances, all the children that were in my elementary school, I got the bike. When my mom couldn't afford it, I got the bike. So that kind of multiplied my faith, that things can happen. Things can happen in my favor. Things can happen for me. I should just have faith that things will work out. And yeah, I'm a faithful and optimistic person because of circumstances like that have shown up in my life. And it stuck with me. That makes me feel happy, to feel optimistic, to feel faithful. And throughout my life, especially when responsibilities pile on, I have let that part of myself go, and I've actually become more fearful. And that's something that I'm working now to let go of, because I was taught to fear no one but Allah, first of all. But I have become more fearful just in the load of responsibility that I'm getting. It's like, if I don't do it, it's not going to happen. And that's really, truly against myself and my optimism and my faith. So I'm glad I actually thought about that point, because it's a point I need to work on. And that's why I'm this weekend reconnecting with myself. And the third thing I'll share today that I wrote about was that I am a very empathetic and loving person. This is a deep one because it is hard to love nowadays. It is hard to be empathetic nowadays because social media and the news makes it as if everyone is out to get you. It makes it as if everyone, if they don't agree with you, everyone, if they don't like you, then they're your enemy. Legit. And it's like, with all the billions of people in the world, 7 billion plus, I need to study that. But with all the billions of people in the world, are you serious? Like, you really think that this person is your enemy just because they don't agree with you? This person is your enemy because they come from a different place, a different race, a different mindset, a different religion, a different idea, philosophy? That can't be true, because why would we all be here on this earth if we're enemies of each other just based on not having the same beliefs? And being empathetic, something in my childhood I'll always remember is when this girl, I think she was a grade younger than me, and I was in 4th grade at the same elementary school as the bike. Ooh, it's cold. God damn. This girl, her wig fell off. She was a young girl. So she had a wig and it fell off and she was bald. And all of us laughed, including me. And as soon as I laughed, I immediately felt terrible because, whoa, something is wrong. Like, why am I laughing at her? Something told me it was wrong. I didn't know what it was. But now I know. I felt her pain. I felt it in that moment. And growing older, I understand that she could have had cancer. And I just didn't know that. But I still feel terrible about how I acted, although I understand I did not know. But I also hope that made me think of being able to verbalize regret and being able to verbalize when I'm wrong. I want to be able to do that more because that helps me to tap into my empathy and the love that I have for people. If I'm able to tell someone that I'm wrong, if I'm able to tell someone, I'm sorry, I apologize, that helps me to love more deeply. It helps me to be more genuine. And that's, with my closest relationships to strangers. If I can apologize, if I can express regret, I'm expressing a deeper part of myself, and that makes me more authentic, and it also allows them to know me. And I believe I put a block just in life because life teaches you not to get too close to people because they're your enemy. And I kind of want to work on letting that go again, to be truer to myself, of being that loving and empathetic person. Because no matter who you are, no matter what you think of me, I got love for you and respect for you as a person. And these are just some things that I'm reconnecting with. And I'm happy to have the chance to reconnect with those, especially on a beautiful nature walk like this. And yeah, these are beautiful reflections. I really think it is important for people to spend time with themselves, spend time exploring themselves, spend time reflecting and reconnecting. And I'm glad my mom said that you're describing what you are, not who you are, because it made me think deeply about who I am and whether or not I'm being who I am. So there's much more to explore with that, of course, as well. But I'm glad to share these these 3 ideas with you now. And I hope you all have a blessed, peaceful day and get to explore for yourself who you are. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tea Time Podcast. Peace.